Hello and welcome to Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures, and look what's happened. I finally got a new hosepipe on the allotment and it's just joyous. It's just tiny things, you know, when you work with plants and outdoors. It's lovely. There it goes, always a bit of a splatter while the water comes through. And it's very early here on the allotment, and it's very windy actually today. It's nice, it's going to be about 18, 19 degrees, a bit cloudy, but the important thing is here, my plants can get plenty of water, because at the moment it seems very, very dry, and well, they're all loving it, they're loving being in the ground. And well, things to talk about. A couple of viewers are going to go and see what's been happening with their gardens this morning. I'm going to carry on watering. It takes about half an hour to water properly here on the allotment, and I'm very lucky because we don't have a hosepipe ban yet. But I'm also very lucky because I have water butts, which is fantastic. And let me turn this off for a moment, if I can work out how to work it. Oh, there you go. And well, that's fantastic. So, as I say, welcome to the show. It's great to have you all on board. And well, sit back, relax, put your feet up. I hope you've got your cuppa. And well, I hope you do enjoy today's show. Something a little unusual, all about compost and what can grow within the compost that actually does no harm to your plants. So as I say, sit back and relax. Once again, welcome to Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. I know you're probably not really interested, but this is really, really brilliant. 25 metres. It's on an auto lock system, so you can pull it out and it will lock into place. So there's no stress, no pressure on yourselves when you're watering, and it's a brilliant system. I've always wanted one, you know, attached to a wall somewhere, and it's just brilliant. It means I can go right to the edge of my garden, my allotment, and it's fantastic. 25 metres, brilliant. It actually comes with a 3-year guarantee too, so it's absolutely lovely. And yeah, the simple things, isn't it, in life actually, make my job a lot easier here on the allotment today. I'm stood here now next to one of my rose bushes, and well, they're in bud, but they're also covered in aphids, and we need those ladybugs back, and we need some lovely so I'm going to water these, because a simple watering at high pressure will get rid of those. They'll fall to the floor, and the aphids, being aphids, don't have a clue where they are most of the time, and they won't be able to find the plant again. They'll just sit on the floor going, oh help, and hard lines. And yes, because I need to protect my plant. I don't want them, because these little aphids will hang around here and then suddenly go, oh, there's something over there that I want, and we don't want that. We want them to well, to disappear pretty sharpish. But I'm surrounded by beautiful, we have I think, I can't remember what colours these are, but from last year. I think they're yellow and with pink, so I'm looking forward to seeing those. In the background here, you can't see, I've got an old raspberry bush that I put in, one of those that we bought for 99p, 50p in the sale. It was dying. Well, it seems to have taken, I don't know what's going on here, but it starts here and it comes right over here in the background, right over to here, so it's massive at the moment, and there are some buds coming on, which is brilliant stuff for me. So it'd be interesting to see what type of raspberry it is. I really don't know, and there's no label down there. I've had a look. Normally when I buy reduced things, I stick the label in the ground. Oh well. Oh, I'm whizzing upwards. Well, I've popped inside the greenhouse because I want to talk things soil. At one time, most of the compost you bought was based with peat, had peat-based compost, and over the years I tried to stop using peat because it's damaging to the environment and all those things which are associated with peat, so trying not to use it. And now they're going to compost made of all sorts of different things. Now some compost, well, majority actually now, is actually using bark from trees as well. It's all rotted down, it's all shredded, it's all blah blah blah. But on the bark, of course, there are fungi living, and the processes don't get rid of the fungi, it just adds it to the soil. Now sometimes it might be alarming. You pot your plants up, and a bit like these tomatoes here, and I'll take a photograph. In here, says he, raising his glasses, are fungi growing, mushrooms. And you get mushrooms of all different sizes. Now, some time ago, about a week and a half ago, I've got these massive mushrooms near my carrots. And where have they come from? Well, it's out of the soil, because within the soil, as I say, they've got these bark cuttings, and in that bark there's all the well, everything that they need for life, the mushrooms, and they pop out. Now, don't panic. The mushrooms don't take it away, they don't hinder the plants in there, but what you can do, get your gloves on, I won't touch these, is just take them out. Pinch the mushrooms out as they're growing, and these have decided, yep, the little dark things. So, don't panic about the mushrooms. Take them out and let your plants continue to grow. It's just part of the new process of the new compost that we're using at the moment. So, and as I say, mushrooms can come in all varieties. So, and I'm not very good at identifying mushrooms, so I've got rid of the ones. They did look very edible, but then again, they could be highly poisonous. You don't know, do you? So in here also, while we're here, we might as well talk all things that are growing. These are my butternut squashes, and I'm really, really pleased because they weren't doing anything at all up until about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then suddenly they've gone berserk and bonkers, and they've shot up. Now these can go in a sunny spot in the garden. I'm going to put a few of these into the other greenhouse with the loofahs, and they're going to be transplanted in the next few days. So the loofahs, I've held back a little bit because I'm trying to make sure that the ground they go into is fully saturated, so it gets watered every day, and because it gets very, very dry in there, obviously it gets very hot in the greenhouse. Also, I'm really again proud with these. These are my Beth cucumber plants, and they've just again shot up in the last few days. Because what's worrying is sometimes you put your seeds in, and with cucumbers you lay them on the side to help the germination process, and they're really slow. It was very cold earlier this year. I think we're a little behind by 2 weeks at least because of the weather conditions early in the year. But yet they're coming. So I've got lots and lots of mushrooms. I've no mushrooms in here. Cucumbers. So that's brilliant. And as I said, these Beth Alpha, really small cucumbers, but they're really prolific. Now, when you plant seeds, often I have seeds lying around, and when I've not used in trays, I sort of shove a seed in, and I've done with this one here. It does look like a cabbage or something. I'm not quite sure what it is. So that is the mystery plant of the month. So that'd be very interesting to get that in the ground and see actually what it turns into. Whatever it is looking very strong. So isn't that marvellous? A tray full of cucumbers. Brilliant. Now, just before I go out of here we are, look. This is my mixed tray of also. These are my loofahs, and they're coming along really well. They will be coming out in the next few days with those. I've also got my French marigolds. Do you remember I said I got a second set of sowing? Well, these are there in here as well. Now here, I had my French tarragon, and they've just not taken. Luckily, I've got some tarragon that has taken, and that's brilliant. But it is interesting. Maybe different soil types. There's different watering positions. They just don't like it. And yes, these are to be transplanted out into bigger pots, but I take all this lot out. Lovely. And that's a fly. Get rid of those. Don't like those. Well, shall we go back outside and have a look at some of the viewers' gardens, and some more pictures have come. A very interesting one from Carol in Canada. A bit of a mystery, actually. How exciting. Wonderful. As you know, I love hearing from the viewers out there, and we're going to pop across to Canada to Carol. And Carol, you've sent me a very intriguing photograph, and let's start off with it, shall we? You discovered this, by the way, in the middle of the leaves, which I think is rather beautiful. And it's a little egg. And, a mystery, because you say there's no nests, as far as you can tell, surrounding this little egg. And you say it could be from the chickadee bird, the nuthatchers, all different types of birds that it could be. Need identifying. I'm sure someone, hopefully, may be able to identify for us. And the problem is, as we can see from this next photograph, and I'm not saying this is the culprit, because I've blamed the magpies here before for stuff, and it wasn't the magpies, but look, you have a magpie, and they're very good at stealing things. And they could have taken this egg from far and wide and then dropped it, and so you've found somewhere and you've placed it safely, and that's all that counts, isn't it? It's about 1/2 inch long apparently, and it could be any little bird, any little chick, but I'm sure, as I say, someone might be able to identify your little egg for us. But yes, a mystery just turning up like that, and incredible. now you've sent me another photograph, a couple of photographs of your lovely garden, and it looks really nice. You said that the lawn obviously needs to be revitalised and a bit of tidying up to do, but we've had winter there, haven't you? And you've had snow, more than we've had actually, a massive amount of snow. So of course things are bound to be a little, well, tired and a little, hopefully, will get growing now. They'll start to recuperate and start regeneration and all those things that the sun brings to all those lovely plants and the grass particularly. And it bounces back, you know. It's very, very good. I can't wait to see more pictures. And it's really, really nice. So thanks for your messages, Carol. Really enjoyed a little chat the other night. And yeah, keep safe and keep gardening, of course. And well, keep an eye on that egg, hopefully. You never know. And now, let's pop across to Wakefield here in the UK. And Darren, you've sent us some more photographs. And look, you've got your first strawberry. How fantastic is that? Well done, you. Very, very jealous. My strawberries are coming along. In fact, they're huge at the moment, they're plants, and there are some strawberries on there. So I look forward, hopefully, in a couple of weeks' time. Now, I've noticed my birds are hanging around because I've uncovered a section of it just to give it some air and to water it yesterday. And I've got to recover it, really, because they'll soon disappear with those strawberries. And you've got a cucumber as well. Look at that. Isn't that magnificent too? Absolutely brilliant. So well done to you. You're doing incredibly well. Probably, you know, a bit more advanced than we are here on Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. But things are slowly happening. Do you know, although it's a very cloudy morning here, and I've got my red top on, this is coming warm. It's quite warm. Now, behind me, of course, we have our lovely waterfall. And I noticed yesterday it was got a bit, you know, well, there wasn't much water coming out. And so I had to clean the pump this morning because, of course, we've got a cherry tree above. And it's dreadful. It drops, once it's flowered and blossomed, it drops everything onto the floor. I'm forever picking bits up of the cherries. And then we get very, very small cherries on this tree. But it creates havoc in water. It just clumps everything up with all the, well, fallen leaves and stuff. So we're going to have to try and cover the pump up, make some sort of protection to stop all the stuff jamming in and logging up. And well, what's lovely here now is I've got lots of pick your own lettuce. It's finally coming at a place where we can eat it. At the moment, the rabbit's having most of this because we can't keep up with it. It's just shooting up. And my sprouts here, they're ready. They need to go in the ground now. Because the sun gets on here, they get dry very, very quickly. So they'll be in the ground in the next few days. And isn't that marvellous? We can put all these things where they need to go. Lovely. Well, I better get on doing my watering here on the allotment. So yeah, if you see mushrooms or fungi growing out of your compost, don't panic. It's just because they used the bark from the trees. How simple is that? Just take the mushrooms off and put them elsewhere. And they won't do any harm whatsoever. Although, and if you like it, I suppose you could leave them. They're not, I don't think they're taking too many nutrients from the soil. But if I were you, just pluck them out, take them away, and let your plants enjoy the compost themselves. Anyway, once again, thank you very much for watching Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. I'm going to potter off now and do some more watering. So I'll be here for about another 20 minutes or so, because the more water I give my potatoes, hopefully, the more potatoes I get out. I've finally stopped earthing them up. I think they've got enough earth on, because they were down about that far in the ground anyway, so I've earthed them up now. And we'll see what we get. It's funny, it's marvellous. I'm looking down because yesterday I got stung by a nettle, because I was having to move one. It's right in the path. And I've got plenty more, by the way, in the allotment. And I got stung through my trousers. I couldn't believe it. It was really painful. However, I've got a dock leaf here. So I crushed it up, rubbed it on my, and it just instantly disappeared. Isn't nature wonderful? Ta-ra for now.